Everyone. This is Mrs. Butterfield, and I am doing a presentation on how to create a presentation for 5.05 Analyzing 20th Century Poetry. Basically, I am doing what I am expecting you to do for this assignment. So I've created a presentation, and yours is going to be about two poems and their influences in time, but mine is going to be about how to create the presentation so that you can see the technical aspect of it. All right, so a couple of things I want to go through with you are the steps. First of all, you're going to have to analyze two poems from the list, and I'm going to go through where that is on Buzz. You'll explain how each was influenced by the time period in which it was written, and then you're going to create a PowerPoint, Keynote, Prezi, or Google Slides presentation as a visual aid, just like you would for a presentation in class. Except since we don't have a face-to-face class, you're going to use QuickTime to create a screencast. And then after that, you'll upload the screencast to YouTube, and you will submit the link to Buzz so that I can see your presentation. I'm going to go through Buzz so that you can see where you're supposed to look for this information. So first of all, this is the calendar icon. And if you click on a certain date, it should give you the due date, what you should be doing on that date. Right now it is February, and this assignment is going to be due on Thursday, so you don't have a lot of time to complete this. I would get started right away on it. And then you will have another, nope, that's just something else. That's not for you. So just one assignment this week. It's due on Thursday. If you need a little bit of extra time, just let me know, please, and I'll give you an extension. Usually technology has some sort of glitches in it or something that you have to get used to using. So I understand if you need some time, just don't let yourself get so backed up that you end up piling more stuff on you. Okay, so anyways, you would click right here for the assignment, and then if you want to go to the assignment, you can click here, but that's going to give you the Dropbox where you would turn it in. So actually you can click on the lesson before, and that's going to give you the information on it. All right, so I always click on the sneak a peek at the assignment button, and that brings up the assignment guidelines as well as the grading rubric that you can click on. So the first thing I do is read through the assignment instructions, and it says to create a multimedia presentation using a Web 2.0 tool. The 2.0 tool that I'm having you use is either going to be Google Slides, Prezi, Keynote, or some sort of presentation tool, and then you're using QuickTime to take a screencast of it, just like I'm doing right now. And it says, you have learned about multiple historical, cultural, and literary influences in early 20th century America. You have also read several poems which are representative of early 20th century American literature. Now you will take this information to create a presentation showcasing both of your chosen poems. You should have at least one image for each poem, along with text explaining the ways in which the literary works were influenced by the events of the 20th century. So you'll look at this list and choose two poems to create a presentation explaining the ways in which the literary works were influenced by the events of this time. So let's say that you choose Fog by Carl Sandburg. A lot of people love this poem because it's so short, but it's also just an imagist poem. So you might talk about what's going on at the time in poetry. This is a time of imagism where people were writing poems that just captured something, captured an image like a photograph. You might also note that Carl Sandburg was from Chicago and what's going on at Chicago at the time and how that's affecting his writing. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. If you need some extra information, please just feel free to use the internet. I think Poetry Foundation and the Academy of American Poets, which is poets.org, those are two really good sites to look for information on these poets for. If you need more information about that, just email me and I can give you some links. But make sure you understand the poem and you're able to, first of all, explain what it means, explain the time period in which it was written and the place. So you want to think about what is influeing this poet to write it. The grading rubric is right here. I always think it's a good idea to look at the rubric because this is how I'm grading you. And if you want to get a score that's passing, you want to go for this mastery achieved column. So you have included an excellent explanation of how the events of the 20th century have influenced your first chosen poem, and then the same thing for the second poem. So make sure you're doing two. For the multimedia, you have included more than one image for each of the 2 poems used in the presentation, and then contains 0 noticeable errors in spelling or grammar. It's okay if you make mistakes in your presentation, just as long as they're not interfering with my understanding. And then try to keep those grammar errors to a minimum. Just proofread it. Okay, so that's what the assignment is, and I am requiring that you, like it says, use a Web 2.0 tool. So you have to create a presentation. This is just like a presentation you would give in class, but you're going to create a screencast of it. So from here, and then there are more pages in the lesson here. It'll give you some more information if you need that. But I don't think I'll go through all of that right now. Yeah, I think this will give you some more information on the poems. So here is what I'm doing for mine. So analyze 2 poems, explain time period influences. So do that work first. If you want to do that on a document or separately, you can, or you can do it while you're creating your Keynote or PowerPoint or whatever. So these are your choices. You can use Prezi, Keynote, Google Slides, or PowerPoint. Any of those would work. I'm sure you've probably used these before, so I'm not going to explain that too much. But if you need help with that, just let me know. And then you're going to create a screencast, which is something I'm probably thinking you're not as familiar with. So I'm going to recommend that you use QuickTime Player. If you're familiar with iMovie, you can use that too. It's just more complicated. So the nice thing about iMovie is that you can edit later if you make mistakes. With QuickTime, you can't. It's just a one-shot deal. But if you screw up, I don't care. I understand that you're a human being and you might mess up just like I do. Just do your best. So you would open QuickTime, and the first way to do that would be if you have it on your dock at the bottom here like I do. Otherwise, if you pinch your screen with 5 fingers, pinch your trackpad with 5 fingers, you get this, and it's probably going to show up in there somewhere because this should be all of your programs, but actually on mine it doesn't, so never mind. The last way that you can find it if it's not in either of those 2 places is to hit Finder at the bottom and then go to your Applications folder. And QuickTime will be in there. It should be loaded onto all of your computers. So mine shows up just like on this. I took a screenshot of it and put it onto my presentation. Okay, so you want to open up your QuickTime Player. You would just double click on that. When you open it up, then the top left of your screen is going to look like this screenshot that I have here. And you would click on File and click on New Screen Recording. After that, this little black screen is going to show up on a portion of your desktop, and you would just click on the red button in the middle. That's the record button. And then it'll give you the next message that I have here that says, click to record the full screen, drag to record part of the screen, end recording by clicking the stop button in the menu bar, and I'll show you what that looks like. So just click on the screen to begin your screen recording. And after you do that, and you want to make sure that your PowerPoint is all made up and ready to go at this point, you'll just open up your PowerPoint or whatever you're using for your presentation and put it into your presentation mode to make it full screen, just like I did. So I used Keynote for mine. And so you would start your movie by going to QuickTime, and then I think I can actually show you this. QuickTime, File, New Screen Recording, and then you'd get that little box, hit the record button, you click on the screen, and then open up your presentation and hit play. And then you would have everything ready to go, and you'd be explaining your 2 poems to me and giving your presentation just like you would in front of a class. When you are finished with your presentation, you will hit escape or whatever to exit the presentation and hit the stop button at the top of the screen. So actually, I can show you it on mine. It's right up here. I'm going to put this Keynote, I'll turn it into a PDF and upload it to an email that I'll send out for you guys. I will also include this video in its finalized portion so you can see it. But the stop button is up here, so you'll click that to stop the movie. And then after that, which I can't really show you because I'd have to stop my movie to do so, you would click, you'll get another thing that says QuickTime up here, and you would click File, Save, and then save it to your desktop. All right, finally, you're going to upload your movie to YouTube. So it'll be an icon that is on your desktop, but you'll go onto the internet to log into YouTube using your school account. You all have YouTube accounts automatically with your school Gmail. And then you would hit the upload icon on the top right. Looks like an up arrow. And then make sure the drop-down box says public or unlisted. If it's public, everybody on the web can view it. So if somebody Googles whatever your poem is or something, it might come up. If you don't want everybody on the web to see it and you want some more privacy, you can make it unlisted, and that would make it so that only people who you share the link with can view it. You have to do that though, because if it's private, only you are going to be able to view it and I won't be able to see it and grade it. So make sure that it is at least unlisted. And then you'll drag your file from the desktop onto YouTube, and you'll have a little message that says, like I have here, select files to upload, or drag and drop video files. So you can just drag it from your desktop onto YouTube. And then it should be processing for a while, depending on how long your video is. And then you'll just hit publish and it will be all set to go. And then you can open up the video. It'll be like any other YouTube video. You can copy the link and submit it in the comments section or on a document into Buzz, and then I can grade it. I know this probably seems a little bit intimidating because it's a process, but I've created this in about an hour, knowing how to do it. And I think it should probably take you about maybe an hour to 2 hours to create this, based on your level of comfort with technology and analyzing poetry. Please, if you have any questions along the way, will you guys just get in touch with me right away? Even if it's at the last minute and you've procrastinated, still let me know if you're having trouble. I'm happy to help you at any point. And I think that's all I have to say for today. So just please let me know if you need anything from me, and make sure that you do your best with this presentation. It's going to be your only opportunity in online English to give a presentation, and that's one of our standards that we need to complete for your 11th grade credit. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day.